Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to the right side of campus here for Friday, December 14th, 2018. I'm your host, the big man on campus, getting you ready here on a football Friday for some bowls. We got big NFL weekend as well off a great game last night. Lot to talk about. Donnie, how you doing?
Yeah, Football Friday, man. You said it all. You got games on Saturday, NFL games, Sunday, NFL games. You had the NFL game last night. A lot to talk about and go over, and we'll have some fun, see if we can make it through an hour show here to get you ready for the weekend.
Make sure you hit the like button, say hello in the chat box, and if you're on Twitter, retweet the show. It's a great way to get it out to people that maybe don't know we're here. Also, make sure you're checking out everything that SPR has to offer, from the picks page to the odds service to the grading of sports books. Make sure you're choosing the right book and getting the best out of it. Let's get into some headlines here, Donnie. We'll start it out. I'm going to start one out here, Donnie, just quickly. Shout out to Pennsylvania, my home state. Sports betting's legal now, baby. We can go to Hollywood Casino. We can go to Philly. We can go to Sugar House. Sports betting's legal, Donnie. So if you could literally make a bet in New Jersey, come up here for the party, and go make a bet
Mhm.
in Pennsylvania. Do you ever think that would happen?
Yes, once New Jersey went live, but we got to get those mobile apps up, Jeff, so we can be wherever we want to be in the state of Pennsylvania and make those bets. But that's coming. That'll come down with some
No,
legislation,
no, no.
hopefully,
I'm
over the next
saying
couple months.
like 5 years ago. Did you ever think like you felt
Oh,
like
no,
it would
no,
never
no.
happen? No.
Yeah, yeah.
So very cool, very cool, very fun. It's a new day, as they say around here. Um, let's start it out here. James Harden drops 50 last night in a big Laker loss. And look, the writing was on the wall in this game, Donnie. Rockets are a 5.5 point favorite. They hadn't been playing well. Why were they a 5.5 point favorite? Just didn't seem to make sense. An easy double-digit winner for the Rockets. Big triple double for Harden. You know, nice win for the Rockets.
Yeah, I also like to see what James Harden, because you know what he brings to the table, and the Lakers were screaming about it. But you can't get mad anymore at the flopping of James Harden. You just have to accept it. The NBA is going to allow flopping by him. He's going to get to the line 50 times a game, and you're going to be mad, angry, and upset about it. But it's just the way it is in the NBA. Just you can't get. Can you still get mad at James Harden, Jeff, because he flops 10 times a night? No, right? You just get used to it.
Yeah, no, I mean he's great at getting
Yeah.
to the line. Uh,
Yep.
Want to ask you guys a question. Do you use free bets as an edge? No, I don't. I don't really ever take the bonus. That's just my personal thing. I like to be able to pull the money out when I want. Sometimes you have to, use the, you have to. What's the word I'm looking for? It's got to. What's that word, Donnie? You have to
Rollover.
roll. Yeah, there you go. Roll over. It's got to roll over everything, and I just don't really want to do that. So for me, no, I don't really use it. But I know it's a good thing for most people. It's a nice way to entice you to come there. You've used them, Donnie, the $500 bets with FanDuel or
They're
whatever.
awesome. I mean, because there's no strings attached. I mean, that is just an outrageous. And why wouldn't you not do that? Like, if you sign up from the sports book, your first bet up to $500. If you win, you keep your money. If you lose, they give it back to you. Those are sensational. No 10-time rollover, it's 12-time rollover. Deposit
Yeah.
100, get another 100, but you can't get the money for 6 months or whatever it is. Some of these new legal sports books that are coming out are absolutely outrageously good with the promotions.
Yeah, no, that's a good point by you. The one that you're talking about is a terrific one. If you can find ones like that, really getting you enticing you to use it, that's a great one. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, do I get $50 free bet? No, not really, because a lot of that means you read the fine print. You gotta use it for a certain amount of time. Roll it over. Is your lower league football show yet? No, I don't believe so. Should be out this morning though. Donnie, by the way, I am a TV star, so make sure, Donnie, you respect me. All right,
Yep, for all 10 people that saw it, you are the superstar, my friend.
10 people. It's the most watched news in Philadelphia, Donnie. What are you talking about? And Dad Fire saw me, so make sure you kiss the ring, as
Yeah, I
they say.
retweeted it. I retweeted it this
No, I
morning.
know. I'm only kidding. But yeah. So James Harden goes for 50. Nice win. You got to be able to see the writing on the wall with those games in the NBA. I mean, it didn't make sense, the number. Rockets are getting 5.5, or Lakers are getting 5.5. Rockets stink. It's like, come on. You see the writing on the wall in that one.
Mhm.
Sugar House is in Philadelphia, in the city. Wentz's fracture, yeah. Listen, Wentz, Donnie is hurt, and I guess this is one of the reasons where his play has been down a little bit, clearly. Carson Wentz has had trouble staying healthy. Obviously, the writing's on the wall here. You're not going to play him again this year. And now people are saying maybe they knew about it or whatever. Just a lot going on here. The only thing we care about, though, is Carson Wentz is hurt. And,
Yeah.
that's the
And the hot
fact.
takes are incredible in Philly. I always like to say, like, for the most part, Philadelphia has very, very knowledgeable fans. But the same way on Twitter, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, so to speak, when you just have the outrageousness of the hot takes. It's just at another level in Philadelphia, as in Twitter, where you just say something moronic, or, the callers that are sane don't actually call into the radio station, but the lunatics and the crack house do call in. It's been fun listening to Philadelphia sports radio over the past couple of days. It really has.
There's another random point, Donnie. We have Wentz is the new RG3.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
where
that,
do
like
these
those.
opinions come from? Like, seriously, when you type this stuff, Rashawn Brown, do you think about it? Is it just jokes? Like, are you being serious? Like, I need to know if this is sarcasm or you're really serious. I don't know. I need to know. Well, but yeah, this season's not going anywhere anyway. You know what that means, Donnie? We come back next year, we fix all of our problems, and we go for another Super Bowl. That's what
It's a
that
shame.
means.
It would have been fun. I mean, if you don't lose all those guys to IR, I mean, but that happened. That just shows you how hard it is to win the Super Bowl, man. You need luck on your side so much in the NFL to make a run at a title. And sometimes you just get Enron, as they say, where every single player gets injured. And that's just what happens sometimes.
Jay Powell, Cowboys broke his back. Yeah. I mean, it's happened 2 months ago, but yeah, again, if that's what makes you sleep at night. Mackenzie Milton improving. He's not going to play in a bowl game, though.
No, he's getting. I mean, he's never going to play football again, but he's getting better. Where his leg is not going to be amputated, and I think he had his 4th surgery, and he's going to be healthy enough to actually go to the bowl game and watch his team on the sideline, which is good news. But he'll never play effective football again, I would assume.
Very sad. Now,
Yeah.
make sure you take a look, Kyler Murray, about that. You never know what could happen to you. Also, guys, make sure you check out the link in the description below of the video. There's a link to win a trip to Super Bowl, whatever Super Bowl it is. You can get everything paid for. UWage is sponsoring it, so make sure you click the link below in the video after we're done here and check that out. Trip's worth like $10,000. I was just on because they wanted to talk to someone about gambling, and I know the guy that does the stories, so he contacted me and we set it up. I'm hoping to get Donnie involved. Maybe we'll do a video. We'll do another Donnie, me and you soon. We'll go to Sugar House and make some bets and walk Chris O'Connell through it. Though he did pretty good. He had the Chargers money line. So maybe you and I, Donnie.
Yes.
We can go and show him the ropes. So yeah, let's get to this game. Chargers stunned the Chiefs. What a great game it was. Finally. And I don't know what I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, you know what, Donnie? I was watching someone's live last night, someone's Periscope, and they were talking about how great the Thursday night games have been. Every game's been good. And I was just thinking, I don't really remember that many good ones. But this one was good last night. Terrific game. Came right down to the wire. The refs were poor, as usual, late. But again, the refs didn't cause Mike Williams to be wide open on that 2-point conversion. The refs didn't cause, the Chiefs' pass defense to give up all those 4th downs. The Chiefs' pass defense was horrific last night. They were horrific.
Yeah, I thought they played well. I mean, they held them to 14 points over the
The
first,
fourth
right up
quarter.
until what? Right up till 3 minutes to go. But here's the interesting part that we always talk about, because last night, again, I mean, the Chiefs were the right move in that game. If you played the Chiefs, you should have won that bet. If you played the under, you should have won that bet. And I got caught up last week by taking a under in a football game, and I said I wouldn't do it again. The weeks before, I got caught up taking an under, and I said I wouldn't do it again. And this is one of those things that comes back because I told you, Jeff, yesterday at the beginning of the week, it sat at 56 and 56 and a half. And I said, I know this is going to close lower, so why don't I just get the best line? But in the NFL, it's almost not, you almost should have insurance. Like when the game gets late in the fourth quarter and you have the advantage, you should just be able to cash out your bet. Be like, yep, that's a stone cold under. I won that game, and that's the way it should be. But you all see late in the fourth quarter what happens because in the first half, if you took the Chiefs, you were the right move to me in the game. You won the first half. The first halves of football games are played clean. Everybody's trying to score. Everybody's trying to stop the other team. It's a clean form of football, same way it is in the NBA, same way it is in college basketball. There's no one-on-one fouls at the end because you're just trying to play hack a shack or whatever it would be. So you saw it last night again. You're up 14 points with under 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And you end up not only losing the total if you had the under, you also lost your side wager, which you never should have had because what happens? San Diego scores a touchdown to make it a 7-point game, and then the Chiefs go into cover mode at that point, right? Instead of being their ultra, exclusive selves during the season, trying to go downfield, be aggressive, and take care of business, what do, Jeff? Play it soft, and then, they punt, and here we go with the San Diego, the LA Chargers right back down the field to punch in a touchdown. And sometimes it shows, Jeff, and we're now starting to see it again, the hashtag take the points and pray. Because sometimes just taking the points is the right move, even if your team gets busted all game long. Wow, look at the money I found. And that's what happened last night.
Someone's talking about the refs for the story last night. Listen, I'm the first to blame refs. I'll do that. But listen, guys, again, the last 2 touchdowns the Chargers scored, I mean, it was just bad defense. I mean, they gave up way too many yards in the secondary. They gave up 2 fourth down conversions.
Throws. I mean, he had some unbelievable throws, man. Yeah.
I mean, is that wait, hold on a second.
What?
ESPN does that thing where the videos like play like when you go to their page, and I thought like for some reason like we had newfangled like technology where we're like now playing the touchdowns on this broadcast here. So I thought that's what that was. Sorry, but yeah, I mean, I thought the refs were poor, and I thought there was a helmet to helmet on Rivers that was just egregious that wasn't called, and more of that has to do with the inability of them to be consistent with anything. But yeah, look, Rivers, you're right, made some great throws. There was just some really poor defense late in this game by the Chiefs. In the last play, and how about the call to go for it? I mean, what a great decision. You realize, you really, if you kick an extra point there, maybe you miss. And second of all, if you go to overtime, you're 50-50 on getting the football. And if you don't get the football, you're probably not going to stop.
No, you had to go for 2. You had to go for 2. You're on the 2-yard line with, monster wide receivers, which you see it time and time again. If you have the ability to use as a mismatch, which they did time and time again, they did against the Steelers as well, going for 2 a few times, why not go for it? You're on the road. Okay, so you tie it up, and the Chiefs probably going to win the toss and score a touchdown on you very first drive because they'll be back in aggression mode as opposed to clock killing mode at that point. So I agree with the 2-point conversion, and they got it.
They didn't really show like how the final play, like it was just like they kind of showed like how you could see him just running. But how is that not a pick play? It looked like a stone cold pick play.
No, it really wasn't the way when they looked at the overhead side of it. It was just a blown coverage. It was a blown coverage. 3 guys went with 1 guy, and you saw it right away when the DB peeled back and realized what happened. Before the throw, he was already like in that anger mode, like putting his hands over his face and stuff because they just blew a coverage. When it says like, "Hey, I got this guy, you got this guy," and then all of a sudden that guy forgets about it, that's they get a wide open player.
That is absolutely disgraceful that happens in that final play. It really is. I mean, you blew a coverage on a 2-point conversion. How? You have to stop them. I don't know.
Yeah, here's the question: would Cam Newton have completed that 2-point conversion?
I would have completed it. Leave it to Andy Reid to blow a game being super conservative. Yeah, well, I mean, that's not a bad point.
I don't know if he was super conservative, but you have to know with 3 minutes. What's your objective, Jeff? You're the Chiefs. You have one of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL. Andy Reid's calling ridiculous plays out there. Your single objective, no matter what happens, is to get a first down. That's it.
Listen, Here's the thing, okay? I don't know if it, and I don't, it's one of two things. First of all, when they got the ball after when they made it 28-21, Badgley kicks off. There's a penalty on a kick. So you're backed up automatically to the 21. So you're getting bad field position to begin with. First play, run, you minus 3 yards. Short pass for 5 yards. Then he gets sacked. Oh, then there was a penalty. Then he gets sacked.
Oh, the
It
false
was just a
start.
bad
Yep, you're
drive. I
right.
mean, penalties. If they don't have the penalty on the kickoff, they're at decent field position. Maybe they end the game. They get a first down, and the game's over.
The
Or
20's
a
not
couple
bad.
first
I
downs.
mean, all you have to do is get to the 30. It wasn't like you had to score a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they just again the sack hurt them. The penalties, you can't commit penalties. I mean, they just committed penalties. I mean, and they were a bit conservative as well, running the football. And then the kid muffs the punt, Donnie. The kid, Desmond King, muffs the punt.
Yeah, you almost get it back on the 40. Yeah.
Could have
Yep.
ended it too. But good game overall. If you had the
That was a
under,
fun game to watch. Yeah, it was a fun game. Yeah, it's again like you just when we talked about it yesterday on the show, Jeff, just getting the best number, and then you just wait and say, "Why I'm going to do this to myself?" And I'm so glad I didn't do it to myself because it would have been one of those sleepless nights again. Going, how in the world did I lose it? Even if I would have taken went heavy on the Chiefs or handed that out as a guaranteed play or a premium play, like you sit back in that game going, "Man, what a great pick, stone cold winner." The same way I had the feeling when the Pittsburgh Steelers were blowing the doors off of the Chargers, and then those little flags, and you saw it early, Jeff. One of the keys of the game, 14-0, the same way the Chargers were down in the Steelers game, 13-0, but two touchdowns effectively, and nothing happened on a pass, which Sorensen was defending Gates, no touch, didn't even come close to him, and they just dropped that little hanky down there, and that field goal turns into a touchdown, and away we go, man. It's amazing.
I'll tell you what, I see a team that could be a Super Bowl contender last night. I mean, this looks like a different year for this Charger team. I mean, this is coming back, winning close games. They never win close games. I remember last year, the last few years, they've been like the kings of losing close games.
Yeah.
I mean,
Field
this team
goals,
is.
bad turnovers.
I
Yep.
mean,
No, you're right.
this
It's
team's
tough.
11-3. Okay, I mean, they got a few games left. I mean, one of them's very winnable at Denver. Tough game next week against the Ravens, but I mean, this team could very well finish 13-3. It's
Yeah,
impressive.
that's a tough close. And you're also looking at the we'll go over those scenarios too, but the Chiefs do have to go to Seattle as one of their games before they close out the regular season. So they got a tough string, the Chargers. Then they're not going to get any favors, but it's amazing that they could end up 13-3 and not even get a home game in the playoffs.
I mean, you have Bosa back. You're going to get Gordon and Eckler back. I mean, you're already kind of. I mean, you're doing it without these players. Rivers is playing at a high level. Defensively, they look really solid. I mean, you got some high-end receivers. This is starting to look like a good football team, man. Really good football team.
They're built to win. They're built to travel. What they do, I mean, look, you have the heady quarterback. You're going to have a nasty running game once you get Melvin Gordon back. Wide receivers all over the field, decent offensive line, and nasty pass rushers. That wins. That wins in the NFL.
Here's a good Friday question, Donnie. How did you get started with handicapping, and who were your mentors? I got
I
started
didn't have any
handicapping.
mentors. I
Yeah,
had no
the
mentors.
only mentor,
So.
the only mentor I had was a guy named College Chill, who I've talked about, a neighborhood guy that I know that was older than me. He taught me a lot of stuff, just because he was in his, when I met Chill, he was 20 years older than me, so he's capped for a long time, taught me a lot of stuff. But other than that, I mean, to get where what I'm doing now, I don't really have any. I just kind of did it myself. I opened the Twitter account, just like Donnie, I'm sure. I did shows that no one listened to for a long time. I got pretty decent at hosting shows and doing shows. Then I contacted SBR a couple times. They said no initially, and then I just started grinding out. And Donnie, I know for you and for me, I just would do videos when no one else would. I mean, I didn't know who would watch them or listen to them, but I just try to gain a following. And there's a reason I have the followers that I have, because I went on streaks and won. And people like winning. And Donnie's the same way. I remember, Donnie, you and I used to always talk about. Remember when we would do like some of those random videos, like where we'd get 30 listeners or something, and
Yeah, sure.
it's you got to just keep going with it. What else do we have here? Let's move on, Donnie, to any final words on the game last night? It was a great game, though, nonetheless.
No, it was a good game. It was, and the only thing I went to bed with solace was that I didn't get burned by a ridiculous late collapse again. Like that's one of those streak busters because the last 2 weeks in the NFL, not a lot in the fourth quarter has gone my way. And I'm watching this game because yesterday we talked on the WCKG show, like, yeah, dude, forget about the first half. If they're going to win this game, they're going to win and cover. So fast forward to the fourth. What are they going, like a 12-play, 8-minute scoring drive to go up 14 points? And I'm going, there it is. Look at that. I stay off the game, and another Thursday night game I probably should have just jumped on and unloaded on. And I actually went to bed, Jeff, feeling really good, saying, you know what? One for the good guys, because I didn't press the big bet button on this one to take the Chiefs and go to bed going, how the hell did I lose that football game? So it felt good, actually, Jeff. Woke up with a smile on my face.
There you go. Donnie, another thing I think we were good with is, and this goes back to your question, we got in this game before everybody else. Okay, like I've been doing this for a while, and so has Donnie. I didn't start this like a year or two ago. Everybody's in this business now. Everybody's doing it. Everyone's trying to have a show. Everyone's trying to maintain a profile. We almost saw this coming, Donnie, right? And try to get in before that.
Yes, correct. You
Like,
get him before that hot stock tip. Yes, we did see it.
yeah, like I've been at SBR for 5 years now. Donnie's been at SBR for a few years. I mean, we tried to get in before then. And is there cappers out there better than me? Yeah, for sure. There are cappers that are smart, but I don't think there's cappers with more knowledge than me and can do a show like we can do. So again, that's all from practice, and let those guys do their thing. I'm fine with it. I'll just carve out my little niche, and we'll do our little thing. Don.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. No, and the best part about it is you want to come on because most people sometimes, Jeff, it's not even about the wins and the losses. Is how you break down a game. Are you knowledgeable in the game itself? Do you come on and admit your mistakes? Everybody loves to win. Don't get me wrong. But if you follow my timeline for as long as I can remember, you got to post the wins and the losses because most people respect that a lot more. Like, you went 0-3 on Sunday. Most people will be scared to death to put that on the Twitter account. I put it up that, hey, look, I'm going to win. I'm going to lose. But it's more fun and it's more transparent. And you can trust somebody more. Say, damn, look at that. He did go 0-3. Oh, my God, it really happens. Or he went 3-0 last night. It's fun. Look, that's what the game is. And if you can't do it and come on and talk about your losses just as much as you talk about your wins, what's the point of you even doing content at that point,
Donnie, I talked about the worst run I've ever had in gambling was the 0-9 start to the season.
Yeah.
And it sucked because I was so good last year. Everybody expected me to just come out of the gates 11-2 or 13-3. And I went 0-9. And I looked back at every single play I made and everything I did wrong. I got away from what I was good at. And it was embarrassing for me. Donnie, do you know how I was beat up when I had to go and post another loss? I'm 0-9. And this time I'm selling the pick. So it's like, oh, look at Big Man, what a fraud. He's selling his picks. Now look at him. He stinks, I had to think about that shit, and it sucked. But you gotta post when I always post. I can't hide. I'm on the these shows.
Yeah.
We can't hide. If you're a handicapper on the internet, you can't hide. If you're doing stuff like this, you really can't hide. I'm nowhere. I got to be on here. So yeah, it's tough, man. It really is.
It's a long-term thing, but that's why people watch and that's why people care and some people get upset about it. But as long as you're real in anything you do, man, I mean, it's just the way it is. And if you do it the right way and you treat people right, and again, it's all about information is the most important thing because most people, sure, they want to win the wager, but they want to feel that, you know what, I think this guy really knows what he's talking about and he's behind it on this. That's all. And that's all what capping should be. It's not a smoke and mirrors game like, hey, let me shift over here and shift over here. Just come and talk about it. See what it is. You know what I mean?
Jay Powell, you guys are great salesmen. I've never sold anything ever. Don, have you ever pushed your website on these shows? I never have.
No, but I think we're great salesmen because of what we talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't. I've never brought up our website one time on this show.
I can't say on SBR I've ever mentioned our website ever. Like I never have. If you want to find me, you know where I'm at. That's just all how it goes. Let's get into some bowl games, Donnie. Here, we got them getting going. Now, let me ask you, Donnie.
Yeah.
I know you like FBS, and I get that. But there's a real good football game tonight that I'm going to be watching. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'll be sleeping.
I mean, that's a good football game. North Dakota State, South Dakota State. I mean, that's everything you could want in football. I love that. I'm excited for that. But let's
Yeah.
get to. I guess we're talking Bowl Friday. Most of these games are tomorrow. But what do we got, Donnie? What are we looking at?
Yeah, no, I just listed them all up there, and it's kind of a shame because I don't know if it's the holiday like malaise. I mean, I don't know if it's because college football hasn't been. I mean, the Army Navy is a game, but college football hasn't been played in a couple weeks. But I gotta tell you, like, there's some things that really interest me, like in college football, and I love college football, and I'm really looking forward, obviously, to the college football semifinals. Like, there's a lot of intrigue in that, and I would love to see Oklahoma, or excuse me, a rematch between Clemson and Alabama. I think it would be great stuff. But I look at the games tomorrow, Jeff, and I'm actually glad that there's two NFL games on because these games have given me absolutely zero juice tomorrow on Saturday. I need you to get me excited about these 5 games down there because right now, Jeff, I don't give a damn about any one of these 5 games. And I don't know if it's the Christmas. I don't know what it is. I'm just not excited whatsoever. Like I look at these teams and it's just like a vanilla. You know, you look at the house. Hey, I just painted the house and it's like an off-white. You're like, okay. Hey, man, I just got this new car. And it's just like, your typical regular car. And it's like, okay, like North Texas, Utah State, Tulane, UL Lafayette. Like, what are we doing tomorrow, Jeff? Excite me about these games. Give me some edges.
Yeah,
in some of these.
I think you're. I think there's. We haven't seen it for a while, and this is kind of the one slate where you're looking at the games, and maybe there's not interest. But let me give you some interest here, okay? First of
Yes, I
all,
need some
guys, do us a favor. Hit the like button. Now, there's a lot of people in here. Hit the like button. Let's chat about some of these. You look at
Yes.
Georgia Southern EMU, Donnie. Maybe not an interesting game on the surface, but you look at this game, it's a pick 'em. You got Georgia Southern who runs the option. EMU struggled this year against
Well, it's
Army
three
and
and a
running
half
that
to
same.
three line.
Okay, I'm looking at the wrong game then. I saw pick 'em a while ago. 3.5. Are you looking at the right
Yeah.
game?
Yes, EMU is 3.5 across the board. The Georgia Southern's favored.
Well, either way, I mean, they had struggles against the option all season. They struggled against Army. They're good pass defense, but can they stop the ball on the ground? Fresno, obviously, a good G5 team facing an average P5 team. North Texas facing a team without their coach. Offensive coordinator is going to be leaving. Defensive coordinator is going to be leaving. It's a North Texas team with a good offense, a pretty solid defensive line, and a good defense. Now, as far as Tulane ULL, I can't give you much on that one. That one's pretty boring to me. I won't watch a minute of it. MTSU App State, come on, your boy Brett Stockstill. Can he beat a good defense, Donnie, all of a sudden? Can he figure it out? Do you have any interest yet?
Yeah, no, like you know what I mean. Like, and somebody brings up the point in the chat box. I'll be watching college basketball. Great game. Like, and I just flip over real quick and I go, look at that, Nova, Kansas. Tennessee, Memphis out there. You got some games all the way up and down. Jeff, Gonzaga, North Carolina, and I'm going, that's way better than this bowl slate, man. Like, I need the juices, and maybe it's going to take me, Jeff, Northern Illinois, UAB in a couple of days to say, you know what, it's finally here. Or maybe another MAC game with Ohio and San Diego State. But I wish they gave, like, you should have started us off with a banger, NCAA football. Like, what are we doing? We have a whole Saturday here, and you're giving me these 5 clown college football games. And I'm kind of upset by it, Jeff. I want the juices flowing. I want to be like,
Yeah, I mean, Donnie,
like,
listen.
I can't wait to get Tulane, UL Lafayette. It's upsetting me.
But that's not. But here's the thing: you're looking at it from like a watch perspective. Like, if you bet on these games, it doesn't matter what the game is. Like, you gotta find an edge. That's how it goes. And there's 5 games here, and I like a couple of these. I think North Texas has some value, but I wonder what's the mindset of Utah State right now. I want to try to find some more about that. I want to watch some press conferences, see where their head's at right now, because they're still a really good football team. I mean, really. I mean, they could win this game by 10. It wouldn't surprise me. Could be a high-scoring game. Could get out of hand. Yeah, look, I think the fun factor for these games, I don't know. I mean, there's not a big-time name here. I think ASU Fresno could be a pretty good game. But you're right. I mean, there's not a lot of
Thank
juice
goodness the NFL is on, Jeff. Actually, I should have put the NFL games up there too, but we can hit that there. But I didn't want us to go break down all 5 games because, as we know, we have another 19,000 shows to do today between today and tomorrow. So we'll eventually get to all of those. But I was just bringing it up as a point, saying, "Hey, bowl season is starting," and then I'm scratching my head, going, "But is it really?" Maybe Jeff, it'll take tomorrow at noon kickoff, North Texas. I flip it on, like, you know what? All right, college football's back. I just think I need maybe to get that Kickstarter going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. Can you guys break down that NDSU game? Sure. I mean, I was actually going to try to save this for the 3 o'clock show, Donnie, because I got a big play in this one for all of you.
Ooh,
I think South Dakota State's going to win. I'm just saying it right now. I think they're really live in this game. I think
whose
all
coaches
year.
left? North Dakota State.
North Dakota State's coach left. Yeah, Chris Kleiman. John Stiegelmeier's been the coach at South Dakota State for as long as I can remember. This is a huge rivalry. This is a game that, this is going to be a great game. I mean, two teams that don't like each other. You get the Bison, who just been destroying FCS for a decade, a great defense, Easton Stick at quarterback. Really just everything you look for. Defensively, they're terrific. But I'll tell you what, South Dakota State, on the other hand, really good. It's hard to do continued consistent performances against the Bison, but the quarterback for South Dakota State, Terrion Christian, really good. He's kind of like a dual threat. He can make people miss. He's a good passer down the field. He's kind of like a Kyler Murray. That's kind of what he plays like. He's very interesting to watch. If you're going to give me 11 points in this game, I'll gladly take the points. I think South Dakota State can win this game. I really believe that. I think the Bison have a great defense, but I think South Dakota State is a pretty good offense. So I'll take the points of prey, as Donnie would say in a game like this, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win this one. Donnie, Jansa Bonzone says he wants to pitch a documentary for how we started in our day-to-day grind, similar to 30 for 30. I don't know how interesting that
You
would
could probably
be.
make it a 5-minute for 5 minute and get through that. You just come
Maybe
down,
10.
you watch a couple shows, you be like, this is pretty boring. You'd be like, yep, there's our 5 for 5.
Yeah, it's really not that fun, actually. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna give me almost 2 touchdowns in this game, I'll take the dog here in a big rivalry game. Donnie, where do we want to go from here?
Yeah, slide it down. We'll talk about some NFL key games for this weekend. Just take a look because, as we know, everybody's gearing up pretty much for the playoffs and see what's going to take place. Let me just bring up some of these headlines that we had here. Key game, 2 of them, Jeff, real quick. Indianapolis in a must-win spot versus Dallas, who doesn't have to win this football game, has basically already wrapped up the NFC East. Now, here's the key information in that, right? Because you had Zeke Elliott sit out a little bit in practice, 40 touches last week, coming off a banged-up shoulder. Probably not going to give him another 40 touches in this football game. Zach Martin, to me, is the best guard in football. Probably not going to give it a go. Tyron Smith banged up. He's questionable for this game. Do you really press the pedal to the metal, Jeff, if you are the Dallas Cowboys, knowing you're not really going to improve your seeding and you basically have the NFC East wrapped up? So why are you going to go on the road and lay it all on the line with injured players that can only come away with maybe a loss? And then you come home and play Tampa Bay the following week, which you should be able to wrap the division up with just a single victory. Maybe they don't even need a victory the way the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins are playing at this point. It's probably just going to be a wrap, and we'll see if the Giants actually perform against the Tennessee Titans this weekend. But do you lay it all on the line, Jeff, is the question with the Dallas Cowboys, when you don't really need this game at all?
I mean, I think, again, that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, you want to win this game. You win the game, show up the NFC East. Game, set, match. Bye-bye. Colts need it more, though. I mean, I definitely will agree with that. I mean, you lose this game, your playoff chances are pretty hurt. I mean, you can't really lose if you're the Colts. Listen, Cowboys, like Donnie, not like the Texans are on a big win streak. Cowboys have been on one of their own. I'm a big fan of this Colts group. I like them a lot. I think they're a terrific team. I love Andrew Luck. This is going to be a big test for that Cowboys defense. This isn't Carson Wentz on a bad back or, Mark Sanchez or some random player. This is a good quarterback with an improved defense and a lot of weapons. I like the Colts here. I think they get the job done. It's a must-win. As you said, Cowboys not in that must-win situation. They want to win, and they'll play hard. But I think the evolution of Frank Reich as a coach, the ability of Andrew Luck to make just terrific throws, I like the Colts here. I think they win like 26-20, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game, and I always like to look at 3 straight home games, which Dallas does play very well at home. But this is one, and it's not a letdown game. And I should have said like Dallas Cowboys don't want to win the game, but it's one where the head coaches in the front office understand the bigger picture and say, "Look, man, the key to our playoff run is going to be getting this offensive line healthy, and yes, we can give Zeke Elliott 40 carries in the playoffs. He just won the division for us last week and put it on the line with 40 touches in an overtime win." We're not going to do that again to him. So, and you see the difference in the offense, Jeff, when Zeke Elliott's not out there as opposed to when Zeke Elliott's in. So I just think a little bit of that stuff creeps in. Won't be a devastating day in Dallas if they lose, because they're still going to end up winning the division anyway at this point. That was the breakdown. Looking now at another game, Jeff. The Steelers in an absolute. Look, I'm going to call it right now, Jeff. Steelers lose Sunday. They miss the playoffs. The Steelers are going to miss the playoffs. That is amazing to see how it's going to come down to in this football game, because the Ravens will eventually overtake them. Can't even imagine them saying that. Where the Steelers were just a couple weeks ago, they're going to miss the playoffs if they lose this game to the Patriots.
Yeah, it's very possible. I don't think they're going to, though. I called it last week. I think they're going to beat the Patriots. I don't really have any stats or trends to back it up. Just a real thought for me. I'll break it down a little bit later on the other show. But yeah, I mean, looking at this game from the surface, I mean, the Steelers have been in every game. I mean, they've just not been very lucky. They've blown some leads. They're getting a full 3 at home.
Yeah, 2.5
Patriots can't
heavy
lose
juice,
again. They're off the
3
lawn.
3 with a little bit of juice the other way. Yeah, and if you look at their schedule, Jeff, which 3 straight losses. But you're right. When you take a look at the losses, that game is what 24-17, where Big Ben throws a ridiculous interception to end the football game in the end zone on the 1-yard line. You had the Charger game, which they busted the Chargers in the mouth and end up losing that game. And then you had the Raiders game, that sleepy environment. Big Ben gets hurt. Mike Tomlin does his new normal thing, and they lose. Now, it's going to be hard, but let's not forget. New England's not a very good road football team to begin with. And New England, look, they always want to win the football game. They play well against the Steelers. But look at this, Jeff. You say, all right, we lost 3 in a row, no big deal. And if we lose to the Patriots, it's no big deal. You go on the road to New Orleans the following week when New Orleans needs that game just as much as you do. This is one of those games, Jeff, where I just think, as Chris Berman would say, you circle the wagons. This is your Super Bowl for the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday. Lose, and people lose their jobs. Coordinators lose their jobs. Head football coaches lose their jobs. That's what's on the line here in Pittsburgh on Sunday.
I don't disagree with you. I think you're right on the money there. I mean, you have to. Kai called into Mike Francesa the other day, Donnie. He was just talking about the Steelers and how, like, at what point do you look at this team and kind of move on from certain things, like with Mike Tomlin, and things like that. And it was a good point. Like, I like Mike Tomlin. I think he's a good coach. I think he makes some odd decisions sometimes, but I mean, at some point, you got to maybe consider moving on from some of this stuff. And this is a losing streak. It's a losing streak that shouldn't have happened. And this is a game where you have an opportunity to circle the wagons, as they say. Getting points, you take your shot, and you got to win this game for the Steelers. Huge game. Get yourself back in the swing of things.
Yeah, should be wrapped up. Nice 4 p.m. Start in that game, Jeff. And also a little bit of updated playoff scenarios, which we just talked about a little bit if we slide that down. The Steelers missing the playoffs, as I said, it's amazing. The Steelers going to, with all that talent in the start to the season that they had, that they're going to collapse, fold up, and not even get in the playoffs is just crazy to think about. And it's a legitimate story now because you had to beat the Raiders last week. You let that one slip through your fingers, and that really cost you when, again, you're going to go play the New England Patriots, followed by the New Orleans Saints there on the road. Patriots, can they steal, Jeff, the number 1 seed? Because if they can beat the Steelers, they get a couple layups to end the regular season. And depending on what those Chiefs do, because the Chiefs still have to go out to Seattle, and the Chargers still have to play the Baltimore Ravens. It'll be an awful, and this is because I don't care about the Patriots, but it'll just be an awful Christmas for me if I just look up again and see the Patriots gifted the number 1 overall seed in the AFC again. Can somebody please hold? That's why I was cheering for the Chargers last night. And I love the fact that New England lost last week because I just want to see them go on the road and earn it just one time. Just go on the road and earn it.
Yeah, they're always sitting there, just smiling a little bit. That's why the Steelers need to win, man. Win this game. Do something about it. Figure it out. Bell is smiling right now. Bell's a hack. He's a hack. The bum sitting on the
Where he's
sidelines.
going next week. And yeah.
Gave
Where
up
the
on
hell
his
is he
team.
going next year, man?
But hey, come to Philadelphia. We'll take you. We're good with that. Come on in. Water's
Yeah, we'll
warm,
get you 5 minutes.
Le'Veon.
Yep. We'll give you the same exact offer that you turned down in Pittsburgh. So
What's
enjoy.
this all about, Donnie? Texas number one? You mean Texans or?
Texans, yeah. That was just a
Okay.
misprint there. Texans number one.
I would
overall seed,
love the
legitimate
Texans to
shot.
get the number
Look
one
at,
seed.
there could be some collapses up top where the Texans
Yeah.
just slide on up in there, Jeff, and say, we're the top seed now. Come get us.
It's a good point, Donnie. Hey, the AFC is interesting, isn't it? NFC is kind of not interesting, but the AFC is interesting, and that's something to keep your eye on this weekend. And by the way, a little programming note, Donnie. You'll be doing the show on Sunday. I won't be able to be on. I'm going to Texas. I got to get on a flight, so Donnie will have you covered. You know, he loves NFL. He could talk about it for hours. Does a nice job. So make sure Donnie will get you updated on all the interesting.
Yep, I will not be nervous. I'll be fine. I won't be too nervous.
All right. Donnie, this is a boring question, but I want to answer it. Why does the MAC and SWAC never challenge themselves? Is it because of money and because most FCS playoff teams who crushed the two in the Celebration Bowl crushed the teams in the Celebration Bowl?
We talking about basketball?
He's talking about just sports in general. First of all, in football, North Carolina A&T is 11th in the country. They're 9-2, and they're a really good team. So they wouldn't get crushed by anybody. Lamar Renard is a good quarterback, and they wouldn't get crushed by anybody. As far as why they don't compete, because they don't have the athletes to compete generally. Most SWAC teams they get some of the worst athletes in the country. They're getting the bottom of the barrel guys that are probably better suited for Division II, but they play Division I. To me, if I'm a student athlete, would I want to go and get my head caved in every night by 40 points like a Savannah or a Mississippi Valley State?
Yeah, I would, depending where you're playing.
Listen, but then again, and I want to make this point, then again, if you don't look too far into it, to me, they're being prostituted by the university. They just are. They're bad academically because of the fact that they have to travel so far. And at the end of the year,
yeah, but doesn't it work hand in hand though? Because those kids probably wouldn't get a Division I scholarship anywhere else. So you got to have that trade off.
But again, and that's why you need to think about where you go to school. Because if I'm going to school, my main focus, if I'm at Mississippi Valley State, is basketball is second. Because I need to go. I'm not going to the NBA. I need to go and get a degree. And if I play in this academic and athletic calendar, I'm not going to do well in school. It doesn't suit me at all. So basically what I'm being told by the university is my schoolwork still needs to get done, but I got to travel everywhere and basically be pimped out for this athletic program to make money off of me. I'm not getting anything out of it. And then at the end of the year, they're going to slap me in the face and say, hey, Mississippi Valley State, your academic progress report is not good enough, so you're not going to go to no tournament. You're not going to the SWAC title. You're not going to the SWAC tournament. And then at the end of the day, the only people to get slapped in the face are the kids because of the rigorous athletic stuff they have to do, and they don't have time to work on their schoolwork. This only happens in these two conferences, and it pushes the bullshit narrative that HBCUs are the worst as far as academics, and that's the problem. Look, this pay-for-play stuff is bullshit, and it needs to end. But then again, Donnie makes an interesting point. Do you just go and say, you know what? I'm not going to the NBA. I'm just doing this for fun. I'll be fine academically, and I can go play Wisconsin and Oregon.
Yeah, I would love that.
I guess that's listen, as a competitor, if I'm a kid like that, I'm trying to play basketball at a high level. And to lose by 40 and 50 every night and you don't see anything out of it, I don't know. That would rub me the wrong way, but that's just me. So yeah, I think they don't compete because a lot of the players aren't good enough, and second of all, I don't think they really have a choice. They're just not up to that level. Let's move on here. College basketball tonight, Donnie. What do we have?
Yeah, another stellar slate here, which they've been giving us all week long, Jeff. UIC, DePaul, Wisconsin, Green Bay, and Creighton are just a few of the line games. Actually, line games that I had to start up today. Only 3, Jeff, included Florida Atlantic and Arkansas State. Salvation is on the horizon, Jeff. Can we just wait one more day when we actually could talk about real basketball teams and have some fun out there? We made it through the week, Jeff. We are making it through the week with the skimpiest of holiday plates to choose from, and it finally gets better starting tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, Creighton's going to beat up Green Bay tonight. I mean, they're going to beat up Green Bay. It's in Creighton. Creighton goes real fast. So does Green Bay. They're going to play right into the hands of the Blue Jays here. They play no defense. I mean, this is going to get ugly, Donnie.
No, I'm really, really looking forward to it, Jeff, as you can see.
I mean, you look at Creighton, number 1 in the country in effective field goal percentage. I mean, they're going to score 90 plus in this game for sure. You can mark that down right now. And per Donnie, last night I give out my final score prediction for Wisconsin game. I said 102-62, I think. It was 101-60.
Oh,
with that.
Almost right on the head, Jeff. You got to take those
Right
advanced bets, man. You can make some good coin on that. Put $1 on it, get back like what, 8 G's, nail that score.
That's a good point.
Those
But yeah,
tough.
I think
Those
Green
are
Bay is
tough.
going to really struggle in this game. I mean, they play exactly the style you don't want to play against Creighton, and they can't slow it down. This should be a high-scoring basketball game. Creighton should score 90 plus for sure. As
Now,
far
Jeff,
as
I got. How about an outside look at this Wisconsin Green Bay game? Is there any thought? Because I see some write-ups out there saying that Wisconsin Green Bay going on the road to Creighton, but they're distracted because the Packers have a must-win game on Sunday. Can you break that down?
No, that's just stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Again, his sarcasm starts to get to you, doesn't it, Mud? It's
You
irritating,
have
isn't it?
to. There's nothing going on tonight. You have to see the
Donnie,
outside
but
angle.
here's
Jeff.
the thing.
Jeff, these
I'm just
kids
being
live in Green Bay. They live in
Donnie.
Green Bay. There's a monster game versus the Bears. They might not care about this basketball game. They might just care about
You're right.
getting home to watch the Packers play. Could happen.
Listen, maybe you're right, but Donnie, listen, we can't keep making jokes. I gotta try to give breakdowns to these games. People don't want to cap these games, so I try to give them a breakdown. Let's be serious here about this, right side. Wake up, come on, buddy. We've got to be serious
Look,
about
I think
these
it's
games.
valid. I think it's valid. When you live in Green Bay,
This is
there's a lot
Donnie.
of
This is
distractions going
Donnie's weekend.
on. Come
This is
on.
Donnie's weekend. He doesn't want to bet any of the fucking college games because they're not interesting to him. And tonight, he doesn't want to. Actually, all week, he doesn't want to talk about any college games because the slates suck. And
It's awful.
you know,
I'm
well,
being
you
real.
gotta-
I'm
this
being
is-
real. You can't fake it. You can't fake it. The games stink, and we're gonna make fun of these games. Wisconsin, Green Bay,
I'm not
Creighton.
faking
Yes, Jeff. Maybe these kids wear there's probably a kid on Wisconsin, Green Bay that wears number 12 as a point guard just because of his love for Aaron Rodgers. There's kids on this team, Jeff, that went to Wisconsin, Green Bay just to be close to the Green Bay Packers. Truth or no?
This is the stupidest conversation ever. No. I don't think they give a fuck about that. And I don't care if they do. I know they're not going to. This is a bad matchup against. That's all I know. I hope they're thinking about the Packers because I think that'll only allow Creighton to do better. This Green Bay team is going to get beat up. Look at what they did against Belmont. I mean, they ended up scoring a lot of points, but they're not going to score as many points. Creighton's a better defense. They're going to get. Look at Iowa. Give up 93 against Iowa. You gave up 83 against Oregon. They're going to give points up in this game. You better believe that. The other game, there you go. Another Chicago matchup. Maybe DePaul will be thinking about the Bears. I don't know. But I think 9-10 points.
Look, Jeff, like you can break in the elements too. Last week, Saturday, December 1st, a nice win by Green Bay over Belmont. Was there any surprise that the Packers took care of business the following day? This is a trend. Good trend.
Okay, whatever. Let's just move on to something else because we're not getting anything here from Donnie. This is just stupid. I'm trying to provide a show here to people.
Get the next one, UIC, and so am I. This is what we break down, Jeff. You have to look outside.
This is stupid. This is not. No, you don't have to look outside. Nobody cares. Yes. It's Friday. It's not Sunday. It's not an hour before the game. Doesn't matter. This don't mean shit.
Look. Cheese Festival on Saturday. No way they're focused. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
All right. What else we got? We got anything else? We can end a little bit short today.
Sure.
I think we should go with the outlying scenarios again.
I'm just trying to. Let's do that for the 8,000th time. I mean, I'm trying to provide good content and games that fresh stuff here. That's what I'm trying to do here. But again, I can. You're making it difficult for me here. But
I'm gonna have to do research on this game.
all right, guys, we'll wrap it up here. Everyone have a great night. It's not about relaxing. We have to talk about games. I'm
Look,
trying to
Don
give
just says I have a
breakdowns.
point here.
Well,
Yes, and so am I. How like you have to worry about that, Jeff. Small town, very small town.
all right, guys, we'll see you all on Monday. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us here on the right side of campus. If you have a question on a game, get in touch with me on DM. I'll glad to help you out. There are added games for sure. But you know, of course, per usual, I'm the bad guy on these shows because
You
I'm just
are.
trying to
Look, you
help.
see that? Yes. Like you should be able to feed into that and be like, you know what? We're going to get to the bottom of this. You could probably get a beat writer out there that agrees with it. Maybe the beat writer, Jeff, is not even going to go to the Creighton game because of how big the Bears-Packers game is this week. So you might get less and less coverage on this game.
All right, guys, we'll see you all Monday. Have a great weekend. See you then. Bye-bye.